Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. This is probably my last project of the current catalogue, and it's one that I promised absolutely ages ago, and I've only just got around to doing it, and that's the third part of this one. So you might remember that I did this album in two parts, and I said I'd bring a part 3 when I do the photo mats and things, and I just got round to it. So you might remember this. So it had a magnetic closure. I made it with outer complicated spine so that it was sort of fold flat. I did a stacker spine to it, and we have the magnetic closure there, and then lots of waterfall photo mats there to put lots and lots of photos in, and there is a matching one at the back here doing the same thing. And then we have our pages. So we've got some nice 6x6 pages, and then we've got these pockets here, which that's where I'm going to put a photo mat, and then this fold out flap, and I'm doing a pocket on there. So I've done some. So this one's got double pocket here, and you can see I've decorated using the decorative ribbon punch. I really like that one. I think it gives a lovely edge. And then the photo mats I've made, these are basically a standard card blank, which I thought was a good way of filling it. So you can put two almost full-size photos in there, and you could do journaling, or you could do another mat photo on the back there. Now this is left open. I'll just get a bit DSP there. I haven't stuck that down because I thought it could be a little tuck spot where you could stick something in, or you could decide to stick it down afterwards. And if these bows end up being too bulky, then they can be undone because they're just tied around this one sort of separately. This one opens the other way, so we had a bit of symmetry going on there. And then this is the pocket that I made to go on the front of that flap. So we've got a little bit of a photo mat there, little pocket there. That also flips up, and then that flips out that way. Now you can, if I was to do this again, I would have stuck it underneath this, but I didn't think about it until after I put it together. So that would be my advice if you haven't done it yet, is stick it underneath this piece of DSP before you stick it down. And if you wanted to, you could add a magnetic closure there if you wanted to, but I don't think it necessarily needs it. Okay, so I am going to show you how I made this pocket and the photo mats. Okay, so we've just got these ones here to do. So we'll do this one first. So as I say, it is just a normal size card blank, C6 size in the UK, so that's half the size of A4, cut in half, scored in half, and then the mats that are going to be stuck on are my normal size card mats that I make. All the measurements will be on my blog. So what I decided was that I felt those colours go really well, and that one matches the back. I thought doing one in that might have been a little bit too much, so I decided to do that one to match the back. I've done them in contrast in here, but I've done it to complement there. So yeah, so we need to decorate this with the ribbon. So I've got my ribbon already cut out. I'm just going to move this to the side. So I've got a piece of our variegated ribbon, because that's got petal pink. There's petal pink in this, and this is the lovely satin ribbon, which is clips of coral, and it's got a little bit of a shine on it. Quite like it. And I'm just layering them up like so. So I'm going to use a bit of very thin double-sided tape to stick it down. I felt this was the easiest way of doing it. Managed to stick that to my grid mat. There we go, and I'll get my bone folder, give it a good score along, and then I can pick it up. In doing this, I managed to get to the end of my roll of this ribbon. I've probably got that much left of it, and I've got about 4 sheets left of the DSP. So I've done quite well this time of using up DSP. Often I have loads left over. I'll probably cut that a little bit big. I'm gonna just use a bit of fast fuse to stick this down. Use my grid mat to keep it straight. Match it along that big line there. Put a bit of fuse on. Fold it down. I just thought adding the ribbon gave it a little bit of something special. And then I'm just sticking it on. Using my preferred glue for scrapbooks. And I ain't got any Tombow. Still haven't got any Tombow. So, are you all excited about the new catalogue? Hope so. I'm quite excited by it. I've got my list ready for going out, ordering when it goes live. We, of course, as demonstrators, were able to pre-order some things, but not everything. So there were things that I wanted that weren't available. So I'm looking forward to finishing off my wish list. And if you don't have a demonstrator and you haven't got a catalogue, then I would be happy to send you one. I send to the UK. I've only got English catalogues. I have dispatched catalogues to my customers and anybody that has requested one, but I do have some more, so I will be happy to send some more out, and I'm looking forward to be able to do some projects with the new stuff. So that's my photo mat, and then I just tied a bow around the middle. So if you tie the knot at 90 degrees to where you want the bow to lie, then that should work. Not sure if I left myself a big enough tail there. I'm saying you might decide that this is too bulky, and so you can always take it off. But I haven't stuck it down. You could put a glue dot behind to stick it down, but I haven't because that would be a nice little tuck spot. So that goes in there. And then we're just, oh, I need to put a bit of glue on that. And then just to finish it off, I've got powder pink, I think that needs to be. So just gonna stick some glue down, put some glue on this. Don't know if I missed that out or if it's just come undone. I've only just used this, literally. How can it block up in like 30 seconds? Well, it's not 30 seconds, is it? But minutes. Stick that down again. So a little thin bead along the edge. And I was going to add some other decorative elements to this side, but actually I quite like waiting until I'm actually putting things in to sort of know what I want to put on there, because I don't know what photos I'm going to put in yet, or indeed if I give this away. But so I like being able to sort of have that as somewhere where you might have a full page of photos. You can always put photos there, and now we've got lots of places there for photos. Okay, so now we come to doing the envelope pocket. So got all my bits here ready, cut out and labelled. And so let's move this. We have got, so for the actual pocket that you're going to make, I've got here a piece of 4 1/8 by 9 5/8. So you can get 2 of these out of a piece of A4. And then for the insert, that is 6 by 2 7/8. Is it? I'm looking at that and thinking it's not, you know. I've written the wrong measurement down. That's the mat for that. Here's the tag. 5 7/8 by 2 7/8, and the mat for that is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. All the measurements will be on my blog as per usual. And then that's going to be the mat for the back, which is 6 by 2 7/8, and then for the front of the pocket, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, so we need to do some scoring on this. So I've got my scoreboard, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both of these edges. I just find it easier to do 1/2 inch on both sides, and then on the long side we're going to score at 1/2 inch again, and then we're going to score at 6 5/8. That's not 6, that's 6 5/8. So let me try get rid of that I've just done there. It's not that one you want to get rid of. Oh, do you know, sometimes that one wants to stay. It's that one that we want to get rid of. Dear oh dear. There we go. It's been a long day. Been on a training course all weekend, and yeah, that is going to get covered up, so you're never actually going to see it because that will fold up. So I'm going to get my long scissors, and I'm going to cut down, before I score, I'm going to cut down these long edges here. I've had a few people ask about part 3 of this album, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot to do that, and I meant to do it about a month ago, and I've been really busy, and I suddenly thought the papers retire, so better get it made. There we go, because as a demo, tend not to demo retired products, because if you watch me do something, you might want to make it yourself and would be disappointed that you couldn't buy the papers and ribbons and things that I use. So that's what we do. So we'll cut up those two sides there, and then just notch in these edges, and then that's our pocket. So now we can fold and burnish these edges. So that's going to come up, and these are going to fold that way. So they're going to stick over there, so you're not going to notice that little bit of a mistake that I made. Might just trim a tad up there. There we go. So before we stick that together, I'm going to stick the mats on. So we've got one for there and one for the front. But before I do that, I'm going to decide if they are indeed the colours that I want to see. Yes, I might do that and then have the flowers on there, because the alternative is to have that and the flowers behind. Yeah, that's going to get covered. Or I could have flowers on both. I do love that paper. I could have the flowers on both. Yeah, might do that. Right, so that decision made. Let's get it stuck. You could round the edges. I did think about that. I thought about using my little trio corner punch and punching some decorative elements in it. But I actually, one of the things I wanted to do with this album is to make it sort of quite simple and something that you could put together quickly, no complicated hinge system, and to make it sort of simple. So if it was your first venture into making a mini album, that was kind of what I was going for. So that's why I've kept it pretty simple. There we go. I did think I'm gonna, trying to remember whilst I'm doing this, I'm gonna put a bit of a bow and some ribbon on the front of the pocket. I've got some shaded spruce ribbon which I thought would look good. So I basically went through my ribbons and thought, oh, which colour ribbons have I got that go with this paper? And then I remembered I got this shaded spruce which came in a double pack. And I thought, yeah, we'll do that. going to tighten a bow. Going to use my little trick that I think it was Connie Stewart did this. Tie a bow round a block. Really happy with it. Might make it a bit smaller. It's not too big, that space. There we go. And then we just snip it up the back, and then that can be stuck round this bit of paper, and the bow will sit nicely in place. Good tip that. Like it. Stick that in place. There we go. And then I might get a little blue dot and stick that bow down. There we go. And that's ready to go in there. Like so. Yeah, quite like that. Yep. So then we just need a bit of glue on here. On this side. Oh, I'll have to double check now. Yeah, it's on the underside, because I'm going to stick it with that flap down. I say what I would have done was I'd have stuck it underneath this paper here. Oh, I might be able to prise a bit of it up. No, I can't. I'd ruin it, I think, if I did that. But that would be what I would do. But as I hadn't actually planned these at the time, I thought about it afterwards. They were already stuck. So I'm going to place that, eyeball it in the middle. Oh, well, I do apologise. I seem to have run out of film, but I think you saw everything. So I think you just missed me making a trim for that. I was just sticking that on, so that's it there, all stuck in, waiting for the photos. And if you wanted, I did do a video where I just did a square mat, which is an alternative sort of mat that you could put in if you wanted to, and decorate with flowers. But that is a way that you can decorate these 6x6 ones there if you wanted. So that's why I've kind of left them, because I think that's a nice big space for putting nice sized photos on there. Oh, scary. So yeah, hope you like that. All details on my blog, and I will link to the original blog where I showed you how to make the album if you missed that. So yeah, nice Nice album, nicely done. Need to get some photos in it now. Okay. I hope you're looking forward to the new catalogue. I shall be bringing you some new projects from the exciting new range that's coming out. Okay, see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want a catalogue, let me know. Bye.